My advice for this week, and I'm not trying to make this a regular thing, if you do want to hear my life tips, life hacks 101, wear some sunscreen when you go outside. Do yourself a favor. Don't do what I did this past week. I tried taking my own advice. I went outside. I broke free of my cocoon of YouTube and my job, and it all went to hell. It doesn't show on my face, but underneath this shirt, I'm dying. I'm dying of just itchiness and pain. Also, wear a hat when you're out there too. But yeah, that's my life tip this week. Wear sunscreen. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing an episode of Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music I heard over the past week, the best being the hot, the worst being the cold, and some middle-of-the-road tracks too. For this specific episode, we'll be talking about any songs released between July 28th and August 3rd, 2019. We're now into August, believe it or not. School's just around the corner. Don't go in kicking and screaming. Enjoy the summer while you can. As per usual, the songs will be linked down in the description if you want to check out any of the songs and let me know what you think of them. Feel free to do so down in the comments. To kick off this week, we have some hot tracks, the best of the week. And first up, I want to talk about the new Brockhampton single. This one is entitled I Been Born Again. This one has a hard-hitting, grimy beat. Structurally, it's a little all over the place, but the beat really makes this one worthwhile to listen to. And Brockhampton, they have been putting out unique hip-hop tracks for the past couple years, and they continue their dominance with this song, in my opinion. Next up, we have the alternative rock band Foals. They are returning with a lead-off single for their upcoming album. This is part 2, Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost, and this new single here is entitled Black Bull. And this song sounds nothing like the last project. Whatever was being hinted at with that last song, what the members of the band were kind of saying that their sound would kind of go towards, it's not really doing that at all. And I'm kind of saying that in a misleading way because I'm making it sound like it's a horrible song, but it is on the hot list of the week. Yeah, so they ditched this softer, laid-back dance vibe to that last album, and on this new song, Black Bull, it's going for more of this straightforward rock song. We get some abrasive guitar tones, we have some pounding cymbal crashes, and stylistically, I like the change. If the rest of this album is going to be more of songs of this vein, I definitely see myself enjoying it. Moving on from there, Angel Olsen has a brand new single. It's called All Mirrors. This one has a brooding atmosphere. I love the strings on this one, and it has a drone to the melodies and the harmonies. It's a gripping and ethereal tune, and yeah, I got nothing but praise for it. I'm impressed with this song, in addition to the feature that Angel Olsen was on that Mark Ronson album from earlier this year. Death Cab for Cutie have a new EP on the way. They have released their brand new single from that EP. It's called Kids in 99. This one, I love the unique drumming patterns. You want something different from the mainstream, you're going to get it on this one. After all, it is alternative, and yeah, if you want something different, go for the song. Cold is the name of the new Korn single. This is new metal. It has this invigorated feeling to it. We have some dirty and sludgy guitars in the verses, but it also has this cleaner and anthemic melody in the chorus. It's a good one. It's a good one. Listen to it. It's better than the lead single. Moving on from there, Idols, they have a new single as well. I'm digging this one. I Dream Guillotine. More of the same good stuff that you've come to expect from their last full-length record. Similar structure, chord progression. Hopefully they don't run this sound too thin. I feel like they've been copying their own songs lately and they start to sound the same. I still like the song. Don't take my words and twist them in different ways. I just hope to see this band kind of branch out and vary up the vocal deliveries and all that kind of jazz, you know? Moving on from there, Bryan Adams, he has a new version of a song that he put out in the 2000s. This one is called I Will Always Return. This is a live version. They recorded it while he was performing on stage. Yeah, anyways, this is a quaint little lovey-dovey song, and I'm loving the vocals on here. They're absolutely phenomenal. They're breathtaking. and it has a heart-tugging message too. One more hot track this week I have to recommend. We have Sheryl Crow featuring Chris Stapleton, and this one is entitled Tell Me When It's Over. Chris Stapleton, he was the main attraction for this one, even before listening, after listening. And I'll say this just to get the elephant out of the room. I'm not the biggest Sheryl Crow fan. I know, it's disappointing. It's not for lack of trying. You know what? With this new single, it's actually intriguing me to check out the new album from Sheryl, and I believe Chris Stapleton is the reason. Either way, it's still a decent collaboration between the two artists, and yeah, there's a nice call and response between them. Now moving on to the middle of the road tracks this week. These are songs that I thought were okay, not the best, not the worst. They're not really blowing my socks off. And first up this week, we have to talk about that new Ariana Grande single, and it's with Social House. This one is called Boyfriend. It fits in with that Thank You Next vibe and sound, that kind of brand that she was going for with that album. Good album, by the way. Lyrically, this new song, it's pretty vanilla. It's pretty run-of-the-mill. Nothing really sticking out to make me remember it. There is some decent production on here. I've got to praise the production quite a bit. It's just nothing's really sticking with me after this one, unlike all the other singles she's kind of been putting out, for better or for worse. Not everything's gonna just click, you know? But moving on from there, we have the Lumineers with their new single, Leader of the Landslide. This one takes a while to get going. It's a pretty stripped back, pretty quiet and ballad-like song, and I just want to hear this one again in the context of the record, because it's not really doing it for me right now. But yeah, hopefully when that album drops, I will love it more. Ra Riot have a new single, Bella Donna, and yeah, Ra Riot, their singles that they've been dropping for this upcoming album, they've been hit or miss. This one is okay. It's one that kind of hits the mark. It doesn't really stick the landing. If you're a fan of Coldplay, I could see you enjoying it, but for me, it just sounds a little overproduced. And lastly, for middle of the road tracks this week, we have a new Sleater-Kinney single, Can I Go On? I love the glossy, sleek, and bouncy production. Some bubbly synthesizers on here, some relatable lyrics too. But my god, I can't stand the vocal inflections. They are downright hideous. And this is the perfect point to transition into the cold tracks this week, as these are by far the worst songs that I heard. And first up, we have a new Haim single, Summer Girl. This is underwhelming, forgettable, alternative rock. That's all I will say about it. Nothing to pique my interest there, as well as these new singles from Flume and Reo Cragun. We have Quits, Levitate, and Friends, parentheses, edit. Yeah, not enjoying the emo-inspired vocals on here. They're terrible. Flume's production is out of place, and it doesn't suit the rigid structure to the songs. And sure, Flume, he's had some memorable features on some of his new songs from his new mixtape. But Reo Cragun on here, he sounds weird, and just it doesn't suit the style of the tracks very well. His singing doesn't complement the trippy production at all. And if anything, it's very distracting and annoying. One of the bright spots, I will say, the more enjoyable track that I would kind of recommend is Friends. This one kind of focuses more on the melody, and that takes the front seat, and the weird vocal deliveries aren't the focus, I would say. Yeah, those three songs, though, they're a disappointment to me. Not as much as this next song from Khalid, because he's been letting me down on numerous occasions, and it's getting harder and harder to come up with new ways to describe Khalid's music at this point, because it's so boring. Anyways, the best way I would describe this new song, though, is it's pretty limp, it's pretty flaccid. There's nothing going for it in the way of energy. It had some potential at the beginning of the song. It felt like it had some Charlie Puth influence. I am a big fan of Charlie Puth. At least his new album. With this keyboard that comes in at the beginning, it sounds so Charlie Puth-like. But of course, that potential plummets out of the sky. It shoots out the window down to the ground and is just crushed into a million little pieces. It's crushed to smithereens because Khalid, he sounds like he's asleep. Again, his singing is just boring me out of my mind. Before I get too carried away with that, I have another song to talk about. It's by Anders, and it's called Bossy. Generic lyrics, watered down trap, R&B blend, not a fan of it. And wrapping up this week, we have the new Brantley Gilbert single. He's a country rock artist, a bit more towards the rock side of things. I've liked a song from him in the past. This new song, Bad Boy, is pretty dull and stale, if you ask me, though. Yeah, so ending off this week with a few duds, but hopefully you got some entertaining listens out of the hot. And even if you didn't enjoy those hot tracks, let me know what songs you did enjoy. Sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. And as always, have a rockin' day.